Hi, this is Carrie Ann Reed Brown, and this is Carry On Friends, the Caribbean American podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Carry On Friends, the Caribbean American podcast. I am excited. Yes, I'm excited for everybody, but this one I'm really, really excited. So, welcome to the podcast, White Yardie. And you know why this is different? I don't have to ask which part him come from, because Yardie in I'm name. So, White
Oh,
Yardie, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me as well, man. I appreciate it.
All right, so let's get right into it. So, you
Mm-hmm.
are the White Yardie. Which part of Yard you actually come from?
St. Elizabeth, Black River.
Lord jeez, I'm sainty with no bad chatting and red dirt
No, man.
and
You see, people always say that, you can't take
no,
money, you see,
no,
man.
no.
We
All
not
right.
talk about, you have some
Let,
people who come from we over yonder, them chat worse than we.
but guess what? I'm up on your side, because
Oh,
Jamaica has two places,
mm-hmm.
town and everywhere else is country.
Yeah, yeah.
So me come from Mobile, so a lot of time me get the when you look.
Maybe I want to little town too, man. I want to, I think maybe I go on with things, yeah? Right now,
Listen,
maybe I take over from Kingston for how much time now, man? Come
li-
on.
that's because the Kingston people them run come on Mobile. You
Yeah, but
understand?
una go and think Mobi a nice man. I mean, remember yo, me so glad when me I go to Mobi and all. Me now go to airport. Me glad for go to Mobi.
Listen, man. Listen, I love it. Apple Valley Farm. I love check out Apple Valley Farm. It's
We
just
have everything. Cause we have a KFC down where we there. We have it now. We have them now, but we never used to have them. When me did the KFC, a Mobi, that and Mandeville. Them two places are closest place. Yo, I like Nigel did Sablamar. Tell her like Sablamar did have one too.
yes, yes,
But
yes.
yeah, man.
Oh my God, it's so good. So you come from Saint Elizabeth, and what was it like growing up in Saint Elizabeth? And at what point you decide say you go live a foreign?
Growing up, that's a nice man. You know what I mean? Countryside nice. You know, you have freedom in a way where you don't have to worry about certain things like what them have now. This built up city them. We have more, like we can go climb tree and pick fruits and or we can go fishing and catch fish and go cook ourselves and things like that. So it was good to grow up in that area. Loads of friends at evening time we go kick ball, play cricket, we have something for do, play Ludi or play some domino. Something always a go on in the area and we make fun of, we make most of what we have when we not have as much. So I enjoyed it, man. I miss it. Sometimes I wish my children could have experienced it too. You understand, especially growing up in where them grew up in England. So sometimes I wish them could have really go there and experience some of them things there because I think those are things that make you who you are as well. Certain experiences you go through and give thanks. Me had the opportunity to go there with my children many times and they went there and I remember bringing them to my school where I went primary school, I went high school, and make them see and go back in my own classroom them and remember I'm going in my year six, grade six classroom. I'm sit down in there and I say, yo, like I show him say, yo, and just what daddy used to do, I get trouble and get beaten from a teacher and things like that. And them I say, used to get beat and them start beat the people them at Jamaica now in a
That
school.
me
I couldn't believe
understand.
it.
That
I
me
say, our
un-
wickedness, keep going. It never
listen,
did with no wrong.
listen. We used to get lit because you used to wear the tunic, and if you run up and down too much, and the sweat forming at the back of the tunic, you
Yeah,
used to get lit for it.
yeah, man, enough little thing, yo. If we have t-shirt underneath the khaki shirt, then beat with feet. Yo, a beat things we used to, so we used to get beaten to a week, man. But yeah, it's by experiences, and I appreciate them because they are part of who I am and made me who I am today, and the person who I am. So yeah, man, I was there up until coming up to 18, and then that's when I got to 18, cause me come from Black River, which is a very quiet area, you know what I mean? It's not as busy like the town and so on. So most of my friends them when them they done with school, some of them move gone Mandeville and Kingston, some fly go Canada, some fly go America, England and all out. So it's like me there me I say, yo, what me I do? I want do something to I want left to. And at the time my father did there England quite a lot. So I say, yo, pops, I'm forward now, cause I want come do something different. And yeah, so I left and ended up in England and yeah.
Yeah. So before you got to be the comedian, what was life like moving here? Because I know when I first came here from Jamaica, I mean, the winter situation, the different. First of all, the time fall back, all of a sudden 4 o'clock, pitch black outside, and it was just
Yeah.
an adjustment for me. So, what was that adjustment for you when you came over, and in terms of going, going to school or working, what was that transition like for you?
Well, definitely the weather was a different thing for me because when we first forward, like my mom there at Jamaica for like 18 years. So when me forward and people see me, them things say me mix or something because I son for 18 years, man. Well tan up, over tan, like proper. Isn't it? They don't even know somebody did white. They must say, yo, brother, no man, you mix, you mix. And no people just say you mix. So, both of my parents white, like, me don't know what, like, they must say, no man, but how your skin? I say,
Son,
son, me in there for a long time. And then, so when you're in the fridge for a while, the tan
light
fade
up.
away. You start like, so that's why when some people go foreign and people say you start bleach and bleach when you go in and just they not sun as much, so your skin start lighting up a little bit, and that's it. That's just what happened. But the weather definitely was a challenge at first because we never used it. The good thing is I actually came over when it was summertime in England, so it did hot. Cause England hot different, probably same like over New York and in place, it's like through a
Humid.
nice city,
Yeah.
yeah man, like in our oven, heat a come from every angle, heat a box from every angle, you feel heat, you can't catch no breeze, kind of no cool side nowhere. You understand? Me not live in a city no more. Me move out I city last year. Me there in a countryside now. Me get breeze right now in my house cold. Me soon go lock the window because it's cold right now. Me I get sea breeze. Me I see there down the road there. So me I get nice breeze when me there now.
Yeah.
Before me there in a city me I dead. But when you realize though, even though when the sun hot like this, when a summertime, so when it start touch evening and that the cold breeze start, yeah man, you realize that me not make for this, So yeah man, you have to adjust to it, and over time, you get used to the weather and things like that. And just like you said, the same thing, like you start realize like how it's so dark outside and how it gets like right now after 8 p.m. when me there, and I look
Out
out
a
a
door,
door.
look. Bright, bright.
Bright. But watch when winter come. Like
Listen.
3 p.m., 4 p.m. all of a sudden, pitch black. I don't understand how them people. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Listen.
So yeah, man, definitely a lot of those challenges, are new experiences you get
Useless.
used to. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the thing, the white
Mm,
yardie, and how I remember I loved watching Lunatic with Paul Campbell.
mm,
And when Masa, the character in there, was white, and I can't remember the actor. I think he was I can't remember his name, but he was deep in the patois, and somebody was like, is he really talking Jamaica? And I said, yes, he's a really popular actor in Jamaica. So, what is the reaction when people see you and you're talking Jamaican? You're explaining that no, both my parents are white. I'm white. I'm fully
mm,
white, but I'm
mm-hmm.
also Jamaican. Talk to me about those encounters.
Well, the thing about it is most of the time these questions are coming from people who either don't have Caribbean, Jamaican or Caribbean backgrounds or any relation with it, any connection with it. Most of the time, the question comes from those people, and a lot of the time, the negative comments come from the people who do have the connection, but they never born or been to the Caribbean or Jamaica. They always live in foreign, so it's almost like they are upset because they look at me as more Jamaican than them because I'm from there, but they should be more. You know what I mean? Like that's where it comes from. So it goes many different ways. You have some people who are interested. For me, it varies on the questions that I get asked. So for me, I don't mind somebody asking a question because I get it. Jamaica is a country where to the world it is promoted, and it's a black country predominantly because majority of the people there are black. However, we who from Jamaica and go school in Jamaica and grew up there and everything, we look around and know, so when we go to school, we have Indian in our classroom, or we call them coolie at the time, and that's what we call them. But the Indians, we have Chinese, we have everybody there. There's a mixture. So we don't look on it. We growing up, we used to see manly and them man there, you know what I mean? So we know Siaga, we know these. It's not unusual for us because we know it. So we grew up with it. So the ones who don't know it now and they ask, I don't mind people ask me, no, like, how come you talk like that? Why is that? I'm cool with that. It's when somebody comes in and say, why are you talking like that? What do you mean, why am I talking like that? That's not a question. You know what I mean? Like, you should come and ask me, oh, how comes? Like, not in a way of like, you don't believe that I should be talking this way, or it's wrong for me to talk like this. And then people come say, well, why are you trying to talk like a black person? What?
Well,
Like,
well, I think to some people they see people like Tom Hanks' son who
mm-hmm.
parades
Yeah,
around with
exactly.
it.
The
So
clown.
yeah, yeah. Me notice I'm not calling him.
Yeah.
And so when they encounter you, they automatically, think that way because they refer to they see this character who is trying on Jamaican-ness
Yeah.
and Caribbean-ness and thinks he has it, but
Yep.
he doesn't. And I
I
think
know.
I wish we all would stop supporting or even
No,
engaging
facts.
with the post. Like, don't even
Facts.
like it, don't forward it,
Facts.
don't vex with it,
Facts.
nothing. Just
Facts.
ignore it.
Yeah.
Just let's move on.
For
So
me, it's always one of these ones where I look at it like there's no problem I don't see with people embracing other people's culture. You understand? If you travel to China, you're not supposed to expect to go there and want upstairs rice and peas. You have to go there to experience their food. If you go, there's certain places where you go, and even in Dubai and Egypt, and when you go off on the camels and stuff like that, they offer you the head wraps and things that they put over their heads, what they traditionally wear. They offer it to you to wear on these things because you're there, you're embracing their culture while you're there. But people know who take the culture and take it to a next level where it's almost like they're trying to say, oh, I make this fashionable. I am making the Egyptian culture or the Arab culture more popular. No, you're not.
mhm.
So when he went on, I'm not too much on him anyway, but he went on a show, and me and matter about oh he make patwa popular and what? Yeah, idiot or fool? Which one? You can't be two of them. You have to pick one.
Well, him take the case and be the fool. And the conversation that I've always had, and I remember the story. I tell everybody the story when you was interviewing many years ago. This young man, I asked him his strength, his weakness, and him say his accent was his weakness. And we got through the interview, and at the end of the interview, I said, "Your accent is not a weakness," and I want people to understand. They're paying a lot of Hollywood actors to have a terrible version of what we
Of
have
course, man.
naturally.
Come on,
Yeah,
come
you
on. Well, I,
understand?
I see it all the time. I listen. In England, it worse. Let me tell you, say
It
worse
was
over here.
Sarah.
Oh, yeah, Wasara. It Wasara over here. Yeah, because here what? Them we hire anybody apart from a Jamaican to do a Jamaican role over here. Idris do a movie. Yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm telling you with me, yeah. Me a big man. Me not afraid. Me talk my mind. Me say what me want to say. If somebody not like it, we can have the conversation. It's fine. I'm not lying. That's a difference. Is when you're gonna say something and you start lie and make up things. That's when you can people can really get upset with you, and then you're in the wrong. But when you
Who?
speak the truth, and that's it. Idris a film a movie called Yardie, right?
Instead.
And him get a white man, English white man, to play a role as a white Jamaican in there.
But you
Bad
never have
man,
your number. You never have your
bad man,
number.
me there England. Bad man, me there England. When I hear a good friend know me too, you could have called me if you do it originally and proper. Why not always want water though? Why them never want to give it? Them rather give somebody else the opportunity every time. Them always do it. I see it so much happen. I mean, I say, yo, like, what does it take for us? So I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. It's so terrible over here, man. Like, trust me, you watch. They want yo. Some things I'm me just say yo. It is what it is. It is what it is. And
I
what can we
understand the
do?
frustration still
Trust me.
because you see it every day. I've heard stories of somebody pitching a pilot or a show around a Caribbean um lifestyle family, and they don't want to. They will relegate us to being the nanny in some other sitcom or something else, which is why I love what Shirley Lee Ralph is doing in Abbott Elementary, because she played
Mm.
the teacher, but every now and then the accent just chip in,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. So
you
it have
understand.
to. Yeah.
Exactly. And And when you think of it, that's how a lot of us interact. We go to work and something happen, and where we get excitable, the accent come out, and this is our real life experience. But I'm of the position that, maybe we just need to stop wait upon them for do it, and we should go out and do it ourselves. I have a
Definitely.
theory that the internet age kind of impact Jamaica movie. So you see, before the internet, we would watch Dancehall Queen, Third World Cup, all of them, Shutters,
Shatters,
all of
yeah.
them, right? You have DVDs to days. And
Hmm.
since then, we don't really have anything that proliferates or, really captures the hearts and minds of the people.
And I
This
said this funny enough on a live the other day. I said
mm,
this. I said, yo, right now if you ask anybody about Jamaica movie, they might tell you Shatters, Dancehall Queen, Third World Cup. That's
are we
all I'm gonna tell you.
are we still at top, but the harder they come, the
Harder
harder
they
they
come.
come.
Like, long ago that they,
Smile
we
orange.
still, people still talk about Oliver.
Yeah,
Like, there's no disrespect to Oliver, but people still, that's the only comedy we are talking about. Lime Tree Lane. Like, what else? We
boy,
not have
see.
nothing else. We not have nothing else. You tell me, say, all of the talent we have in the world. Yo, I said this. In a Jamaica, the population is like 3 million. There is a report the other day that in America alone, there's over 1 million Jamaicans living there who born from Jamaica. That's not counting people who born from Jamaican parents or anything like that. That's just Jamaicans left and gone. That's just in America. England, Canada never including that. Canada have a whole heap of Jamaican over there. England have a whole heap of Jamaican over there. The Caribbean as a whole population must be anywhere over 50 million. Easy.
Easy,
And
easy.
y'all tell me, say, yo, we cannot get our own things on platforms. We can't have a Netflix, we can't have Amazon, we can't have them thing there. But every other continent, every other country has it. African have them thing. African them have Netflix. If you go on Netflix right now and you go there them section with them what them whole of them program depend there. You look for Asian, the whole of them program there. You look for American, English, everybody depend there. Everybody depend all alien depend TV. And we not depend TV. And we can come on here. Eh?
Listen,
You know much alien movie you watch and docu show and you see all docu with dead and gone have movie and we can't get two movie.
it's
Eh?
true. It's true. The last sitcom that I remember is Desmond's, filmed in the UK itself.
All right,
Poor
and that was a
pie.
mixture, yeah, and that was a mixture of I don't even think Desmond was Jamaica. I think Desmond
No,
was
Desmond
from
was Guyanese.
Guyanese,
Yes.
Guyanese,
And
and
I think Pork
and
Pie
that
was
was the last one.
Malaysian.
And me, I tell you say, yo, you tell me say we can't have a up to date Desmond.
That's the question I
See,
asked too.
my thing is this. I'm funny you said because recently I noticed this conversation I come up a lot, and I'm always a part of this conversation when I'm talking. Is my aim when I first started to do comedy was always get on TV, get on TV, get on TV, get. Me a dead for get on TV. And then after a while, I start realize, say, yo, them they're not for me. I go to many meetings, I go to many interviews with them to discuss stuff. But the problem is they see me as a gimmick. If I was a gimmick like a Chet or Hanks or them, would I have whole heap of TV show by now. Problem is when them come to meet me or when we go meet them, they must say, yo, you're real. I'm say, of course, me, this is me. Oh, we thought it was like a act that you put on. No, it's not a act. This is genuinely me. They're not interested in genuinely. They want a act. They don't want that because they want you to water down and want to be able to control what you're doing. Right? We're not doing that. I've been on TV and I actually got an opportunity to go back on the same show again this year. Unfortunately, I cannot make it. I had to turn down because I've been St. Martin's doing a show, which is blessed that you have these opportunities and you have to be turning them down. But also, it's like, me, I look on it and say, yo, my aim right now is to keep making nice for the Caribbean islands and keep hopefully expanding, helping young comedians come up on the scene, helping young comedians get platforms where they can perform on stages because that's another thing we don't have. As much as we want TV and we want this, we want movies and that, at the same time, we're still fighting to get venues to let us in to do shows as well. So we have a lot of battles, uphill fights that we have to go through. And I'm trying my best to open up doors and get things happening. And if I can help a young comedian on along the road who just starting, come through, let's go together and do it together. And one day I would love to be able to secure a deal with one of these big platforms where it is a way I say like him say secure the bag, like get a proper get a good payment for do one of these big platforms and use that payment to then invest into the Jamaican film somehow, whether it's filming movies, filming a sitcom, getting writers, getting the writer, paying a production company. Not, yo, brother, you can film, come film a movie. No, proper something. That's my aim now to one day hopefully can do. If I cannot do it, I hope that by me making nice, somebody else can get through the door and then do it, because we need it. We can have action movie, love movie, we can have dopey show, we can have everything, but when are we gonna have it? It's like every time it's like we are wait for, like you said, why we are wait for people? Stop wait for people. We should be able to do it ourselves. We have a lot of influence on the world as Jamaicans. Jamaican music alone is probably, to me, is the biggest and the most influential music in the world. As much as people don't want to talk about it, it is the facts. It's there. Yeah, Burna Boy, the biggest African artist right now, used to be a dancehall artist. He used to be an African dancehall artist, right? Most I'm tease him, I'm say it on show, when I do my show them sometimes I tease him, I'm say, yo, no for him new song them, no for him song we big, you know, I copy all two Jamaican song and I don't even know. I'm have to break it down to them and tell them, what you think? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where do you come from? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, come on. Come on. Yo. So, but one day, you know, we just have to keep working, man, and keep fighting these battles. And one day, hopefully, you know, one of us gets through, and hopefully it's the right person that gets through that can bring other people through, and not the one that goes through and lock the door behind him.
I think that point is just so important because from my observation is we all have to decide that we're in a cooperation, right? We're competing, but we have to cooperate in the competing because
Mm-hmm.
we're all trying to build something and build that
Yeah.
forward. And I just don't think a lot of people have that mindset to understand this is what we have to do. You know,
Do
you
you
think,
know why? Do you know why?
tell me
I
why.
can tell you. I can tell you exactly why. Um, I don't. I agree with somebody said. The only part I don't agree with, I'm not competing. I compete with myself.
When I mean
No,
competing,
no, I know it's competitive in a way. Yeah, I get it. But I think we have to clarify. I don't compete with somebody say, yo, you are sell out a show. Me I go sell out a bigger show than you.
yeah,
No,
no, that's not what I mean.
I'm not doing that. I used to be like that where I'm very competitive. If one comedian do this, me want to do this. The next comedian do that, me want that. But when me look on him, I say, yo, yeah, I'm happy a comedian do that, because by you doing that, it shows that it's possible, it can be done. So I would like to one day be able to do similar to that or close to that. The reason why it's like people are like that is because they're insecure with themselves.
Yeah.
That's
So
what it is. A lot of
the
insecurities.
the example I was going to use was with Motown. Technically, all of those artists, they're trying to reach a similar audience, but the way how all the Motown artists them kind of mobilize, move forward to push Motown as a
Yeah,
label,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the premier label,
yeah.
that's the example that I use because in their mind, if the Supremes do good, everybody else behind them are gonna
I
do
will
good.
do good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you understand? So
Exactly.
that's what I mean
But you
by
know, a problem is in a fluid industry what we have is nobody no look on it like, yo, if the Supremes do good, we all have to do it. Everybody want to look on like, me want to be the Supremes to do good and uno follow me. Everybody want to be the man. That's the
yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Everybody wants to be, oh, that's him. He's the guy. No man, like it shouldn't be like that. Though, let me tell you something, yo. Me never once in my career ever stop somebody because me wanted that job or me wanted it. Never. It wasn't for me. That's why I didn't get it. I don't look on something like, oh yeah, you only get that because of this. No, it wasn't for me. If me help somebody, right, and this person within a year has gone off and gone to movies, gone to that, and I helped that person along the way and they got there, me not gonna say, yo, me never help you, that never that. Me never know that always was set to happen for you in life. It was gonna happen. So me just have to focus on what me I do.
Yeah.
Me have to be happy with what I am doing.
Yeah.
You understand? So I agree. If one of us can get that breakthrough, it shows that it can happen. The problem is, like we said, it's all about who gets that breakthrough. We have to make sure it's the right. Well, we can't make sure, but we just have to hope it's the right one that gets that breakthrough, that has the right mentality to know that, yo, me know in this one at a crab in a barrel mentality. That's it. We need to skip that. We need to
Yeah.
help each other come out of the barrel and make it on top of the barrel. You understand? That's what
Yeah.
we need to do. Stop all this push. But problem is, like I said, too much competition with each other. Everybody want to be the man. Everybody want to be the supremes. You know what I mean? Nobody no want take them time and say, yo, me can go through too, you know. Me can go through. Me go
Everybody
on.
want to be
Yeah.
Gladys. Nobody want to be the Pips.
Yeah, and nobody know how to do no backup dancing, you know, yo, like, come on, man, you know, one hand wash one,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
You
Yep.
can't wash with one hand, you know, go there for long, I try,
Yeah.
you know, well, some people one hand know for wash with one hand, but we know, say, oh, you see it
Yeah.
easier, you know,
Yeah.
let's make it happen, but again,
Yeah.
one day, man, one,
Yeah. And the last point on this, I had somebody on the show a couple years ago, and she said one of the problems the Caribbean has is no one really gauges our numbers properly. Them either bulk us into Latin America,
mm-hmm,
and they don't really know how to separate us. To a degree, I agree. But I think there, like you said, there's enough of us in the diaspora. The Jamaican diaspora, wholly.
no,
Combine the Caribbean, we nuffer. You understand?
exactly,
So we can mobilize and figure out a thing. If we can figure out how to keep dance and party and rave and fet and done the place, we can try to do the same thing in terms of other areas of the art. Diversify how we're generating income and diversify how much we are reclaim ownership of Phoebe culture as opposed to other people are run with it, do
mm-hmm,
new things with it and make it seem like, oh my God, this is so new. No, hello,
mm-hmm,
hello, pss, 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 come over here. So that type of thing. So I'm so glad
sure, man,
that we're having this conversation. So you've been on tour, and I understand that you've been on tour in England and Canada a lot, and you just did your first tour in the US. So no, you
mm-hmm.
need to put them on blast now. What is different about America versus the tours that you've done in Canada and England?
No, they're not, all right, so, um, difference. You know what me find, to be honest, there's difference in every area I go. It's
Mm-hmm.
not even just the country itself. It's actually in England, you have some place where you go different, the vibe just different. I live in England, so London as well. I've been living in London. I lived in London majority of the time. I've been here. It's only recently I moved out. So London get enough of me. So it's almost like them get so much of you that you can become very diluted. They're used to you now. You know what I mean? So then you know them not appreciate you as much. But fortunate for me is that I've always been able to travel and do shows other places such as Canada because early in my career Canada was always somewhere people are telling me to come and we end up going there and making it happen. So luckily for me I can not do no London show for y'all 5 6 months or for as long as me want because I have other places to go. Some comedians don't have that opportunity. You can see these comedians like every week. You can see them perform. They're not exclusive no more. So it's very different in different places. Um, I enjoyed coming over to America and touring. I've been to America before, but it was only a very short period. I did like 3 shows or 4 shows, I think it was at the time. That was back in 2017, I think it was. So the American tour was really overdue because a lot more people never seen me before. And you know, Canada has seen me many times. I've been going to Canada for like the longest, as I said. They love me over there. Toronto people show me so much love throughout my career, man. Like honestly, they probably have been one of the most supportive people in my career from start till now. Like if I go up on my Instagram right now and post anything for the show, when you come back to Toronto, like literally them kill me. Them just want me there all the while. So and I appreciate it, you know what I mean? But at the same time I have to make them know say yo, as much as I would love to come back every other day, I have to
Yeah.
give you no time for miss me more.
Mm-hmm.
So when I come back, I can give you no new material. I can't just come all the while and you know, I have to get new stuff. So it take a while to go and create new material. America was very reception was great. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the place them like, especially around the New York area, was amazing, man. You know what I mean? Like the reception, the feedback, the yo, like one thing where really stands out to me, well, something what I really like to hear back, um, is when people come to me and tell me something funny in person than on social media. Because for me, social media good and everything, but that I know my career. My career they work hand in hand. It's part of my career, but my real work is when I go up on stage and perform. And
Mm-hmm.
when somebody come to a show and watch me live and then say, yo, brother, you're funny. Yo, me have people come and show and say, yo, me are the funniest comedian you ever seen. And me I say, really? And them I say, yeah, like it means say, yo, like me have to start look at myself, say, yo, me I do good work then. You know what I mean? A lot of time over years into this and it's paying off where people are giving me or putting me in same categories with certain comedians who I used to look up to. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Hart, you know what I mean? Like he has his tour going on and while he's touring and doing it, and there's people who come to me and say, yo, me just watched Kevin Hart 2 weeks ago. You funnier than him. I mean, I said, whoa, like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So it's been good. I mean, the feedback's always good, and I spend time with everybody after the show. Every show I do, I always stand up and if people want to talk and take pictures, we can do that. And feedback I get is amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been good.
Wonderful. I am so bummed I missed the shows.
So you go,
They were a
man.
sellout, but when you
Yeah, man.
circle back, you
No,
know.
we definitely has forward again. Look, the thing about the tour is the US tour. We're doing it in sections. You know what I mean? So we did 16 shows the other day, across. Like we went to Virginia, went to the Washington D.C., went down Georgia, went Atlanta again, went L.A. Cause we did Atlanta back in April,
Hmm.
and the show sell out. And say, yo, people love me. And when we announced it, so we are come back, people like, you have to come back at Atlanta. When we went back to Atlanta, I did 2 more shows again and sell out again. I say, yo, like Atlanta people are showing me love. So, appreciate that as well. Atlanta's becoming a place where we might forward enough, but then forward up in New York and Brooklyn people them go mad. Queens people go mad. Man, I say, yo, like Poughkeepsie upstate. Yo, man, I say, all right.
But like
Yo,
you tell Michaela, you never go at the Bronx. So,
yeah, yeah, you never got the Bronx. Never got the Bronx. I never
yeah,
got the
man.
Bronx. I never
Yeah.
people cuss me about the Bronx. Say, yo, hey, you come to Bronx. Me I say them people are not easy, man. Like, give me your house, man. Me do a show in your house, cause I can't find a venue. But what the point is that what I'm doing is that so we did that section there. We did Boston, Philly, Jersey, and then we have a circle back and go to Florida and Texas, and we might even throw in Long Island and some other places up there as well.
Yeah, you might even want to try Chicago. Our family in the Midwest and a whole heap of
Yeah,
Jamaican
yeah,
over there.
no, we listen, man. We definitely like I was saying, like we were saying earlier, is like we even struggle to find places that want us to come
Venue.
and perform. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's the truth. That's the reality of it. That what many people don't talk about. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And none of that is that again. It's about making sure the right person get through that can help everybody else. Sometimes people go through the door and them lock the door upon you, them not try to get or bring in. Like in Atlanta, we managed to get the Atlanta Comedy Theater, which is a very popular comedy place where we attack. Say, yo, like every comedian pass through there. Every comedian where the show go there. Like all of the top US comedians go there. And they gave us a Sunday night, which is normally a slow night, and we sold it out. So now based on it's like we have to go there and
You
prove ourselves.
perform, yeah. Once you
So
prove
now we've
yourself.
done that. I have opened the door there where now other comedians from the Caribbean can now go in there and do a show based off of yeah man, why Yardie link. So it got through. And I don't mind. I'm cool with that. You understand what I mean? Because me want the scene to grow and develop. But we are struggle to find places and nobody not really want to give no venue.
Yeah.
When we do my tour the other day down in Virginia, we had we had locked in. Let me tell you exactly what happened. We
Mm.
locked in and booking with a comedy club, popular, big comedy club in America. We were so excited. We got this based on the fact of what I did in Atlanta after Atlanta Comedy Theater. They recommended us. Got it. Cool. When we get it now, boom. Problem is they mix up. We had two shows, one in Richmond and one in Virginia Beach. Now we're using both their venues. They advertise the wrong dates. They locked in the dates them for the wrong way around, and we are advertise the dates them for the other way around. So
Mm.
when we start, it caused confusion. Now them end up cancel the show upon we 1 week before the actual show of it happen and
Wow.
start email people and tell people say we cancel upon them. But me still advertise so how me cancel.
Mm.
So I say, you know what, people, it's cool. Me have to go up online and a search and a message and an email find two venue and we made the show still happen anyway. And to be fair, out of the 16 shows that I did, those are probably the only two shows that never sold out. All of the rest sold out. And it's based off of the fact of what happened, a lot of
Yeah.
confusion. So it was cool anyway. We move on from that. We do have to. But again, it's like me, I said, these places, it's hard to get venues. So it's not like I wouldn't want to go Chicago. I want to go everywhere we can go where people want me to come. But if me can't find a venue, me just can't find a venue. There's nothing more me can do.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So while we're on that, which joke is the
Mm-hmm.
one? So the other day I was watching a special with Dion Cole, and he talked about his little thing where he used to write him jokes on a paper. And every
Mm.
time people request that little bit, is there a particular joke or something that you do on stage that people say, no man, tell the joke there. Tell the joke there. That's
No,
the joke.
no, not really, no, because you know why is because I'll be honest, I try my best to always be delivering new material. You know what I mean? So every time people see me, it's like I always try to make sure I have new material for them and give them like, and that's something that me really proud that I have managed to do over the years. Is I take this thing serious. So me write an hour of material, and that hour I would tour with it. It would be all over the UK, all over Canada, all over America. And once I've done an toured with that for a year or two, and I've been to almost everywhere, all right, here's a new hour, and I go again with that. But sometimes we get people request like then we say, yo, the video on you, where you know a video you talk, and they like when we start bring up something similar to something we talk about in a video because they can relate to it. Like for example, I think one of my first even videos that kind of went viral was a container video. When me I talk about yo like the Tupperware, the container them. So me I say yo like me I do a lesson like me I say yo it's when a Christmas time when you go in your family them for dinner. And me tell them like I start give them rules and me I say yo when you bring container you have to know what kind of container you bring. You can't just bring any container.
It's true.
I say, yo, bring the big ice cream dish them, because them want the full, them want the whole heap in there. I say, yo, you have to bring different ones. I say, yo, when you pack, you put rice and gravy meat in the same one, you keep them separate.
Separate.
Because you might not want the rice and the gravy together and then they go sour up together. You don't want them something there. You have to separate. I'm say, yo, the greatest tip of all me can give you, no? No bring no lid for the container then. I say, what you mean no bring no lid?
File
Me
paper.
say, yo, file paper, clean film that. The lid only restrict how much you can put in there. You
It's
see, when
true.
you have no lid, you pack it all so and wrap it up. The whole more. Come on, man. So sometimes when we start talking about that on stage, people say, the container them. And then say, yeah. I'm talk about them. So I have some joke where people know and them like to hear it. It's almost like a greatest hits when you hear an artist
Yeah.
about perform a song. So there's nothing wrong with that. But me always I make sure I bring new material all the time. So one thing we can tell you, if White Yardie has ever toured anywhere and in come back, him not come back with the same joke them. So, you know, yeah,
Always fresh. Always
always
fresh.
fresh. But I tell you one thing I always do. You see when I do a show,
Mm-hmm.
if me go and say, yo, Wagwan people like Brooklyn, Wagwan. And people say, hey, I say, who they come and show last week? And me hear nobody make nice. I say, okay, good, me can tell them joke to them. I me hear two people make nice. I say, just on the two alone. And I'm gonna hear the joke them again, you know. We can't give just you do a whole new hour. No man.
Oh my
So
goodness. I love it. I love that container joke because I live it. So when my uncle, when
facts.
I cook, and my uncle come over, listen, man, he might come with a little bag with all like, him say me little bamba if I go work, you know.
That's it. That's it. And yo, me used to travel with them now, me car regular. Everywhere I go, people used to see me with them. Say, I may have it. Me have my container. If
Yes.
food good, summer come with me.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
true. It's true. Oh my God, that's so amazing. So, as we wrap up, I want you to tell me what your plans are for the future. I know that you're diversifying what you're doing. Stand up is a gateway to other opportunities. What what do you see for the future, not just for Jamaicans, but Caribbeans in this world of entertainment and all this other stuff that you're doing?
Well, for me in the future, like I said, I would love to be able to have opportunities to do movies and more acting, comedies, sitcom, all them type of thing there. And like I said, I would love to be able to even have the financial like there. Like you have a disposable income right there where you can say, you know what, the money, yeah, we don't need this, and this can go to something good and create something for Jamaicans, and the Caribbean as a whole. Like I would really like that, and hopefully one day that can happen. I see the entertainment just keep growing and growing and growing. I think the work that I'm putting in and other comedians like myself from the Caribbean community are putting in is definitely gonna pay off one day for somebody. And it's just about us keep putting in our work. And I feel like I would like to see the entertainers more unified together and working together. Stop trying to all be off separate and feeling like I said, feeling like you are the one, and like just work together and build together. So to make it happen. I mean, we're from Jamaica. We know, so yo, by yourself nothing can happen. Everybody at some point has to work together to get somewhere, whether you like it or not. You understand what I mean? So yeah, I mean, entertainment wise, I said just more than just dancer. That's what I like to see. More than just the music, we have more to offer. There's a lot more to offer, and we have so much talent from the small island. And we're the biggest small island in the world.
Yeah.
That's how you see it. Jamaica is the biggest small island in the world
Yeah.
because it's
We
true.
conquered the world,
We're
basically.
we exactly we are so influential. When you look at Bob Marley, you look at UC Bolt, all of those things. Like, come on, man, from one little small island, we have two big legends in the world. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real about it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, we just hopefully one day they will see that there's more to offer than just dancehall. And there's not wrong with dancehall. I'm just saying
I
there's so
say it
much more.
I say it all the time, and that's kind of why this podcast focus on the content. We don't need, there's enough gossip, there's enough meta and mix up. We need
Mm-hmm.
to show the different facets. And I'm not saying not to do gossip because mainstream America TV, them have TMZ, them have
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
that.
yeah, no,
So we
definitely.
just need to show that we can do different things and not
Of
lock
course, guys,
ourselves into
crazy. It's
one thing.
just
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. It's like if we start this podcast and it started where straight away you hear, yo, me not like the brother, and you see that. Let me tell you something. You see, anytime you see them man, the man they can't. This bare views. That little clip there, gone
Yeah.
views. But as soon as you start something, and you say, yo, people, say big and serious, we need to work together. No time for that.
Yes.
Nobody no want to see that.
That's what we've been experiencing the last couple of years. But
Nobody no want to see that.
we're consistent and we're committed to it because we know that the work we're doing enough it likes
Mm.
there's a preservation aspect of our culture that I'm very keenly aware of, right? If me not pass this to my kids, we lose out. Then
Yeah.
the culture, somebody else buy out the culture, right? And the way that we preserve it is to have these conversations. So, like you said, most of us live here, so we have to do it in the environment that we are. And I wish more people saw how critical that was. Yes, we
No, it
need for
is. It's very
party.
important.
Yes, we need for run. Yes, we need for do all of these things, but we need for take up space in
Yeah,
a
man.
newsroom,
Everything. Everything.
everywhere,
And somewhere you say a while ago,
restaurants.
somewhere you say it's very good because do it for likes. You see that? You see me? Me at first me used to care about likes and views. But me realize, oh, them things are important. So me post whenever me want post. I don't care. Some people have a set time when them post because them don't post, it not will get. Me know people where we post a video and if it don't get a certain amount of comment and likes, them delete it. I mean I say because in a match with the other stuff, bro, like it's life. I know everybody out there online and watch at that time. Like keep it moving. You don't know. Sometimes the 100 views that you get, one person out of 100 views is more important to see that the video there and change your life more than the millions where I see it and now do not more than kiki at home. Yeah.
It's true.
So enough people do this only. Them have to have yo, it's crazy. Enough things we have mentioned. Me have been talking about recently. I mean, I say, yo, like too much people are too fixated on what people want to see and like them not do nothing more for themselves no more. Them a do it to
Other
impress
people.
people and what them doing can see. Them up on the next side of the screen. Nah see nothing and you are trying to impress them.
Yeah.
Man,
I
sure.
mean, I remember I recorded an episode of the podcast and I just started, because January I come ago, well, heap of years, about 9 years since I've been doing this podcast.
Oh wow. Big up to
And
you, man.
thank you. Thank you.
9 year, a long time that man I do this.
Yeah, man. And sometimes you feel like, man, what may I do? Because no more people don't know it. But I remember there was a point in time when somebody had said to me, "No, you're Jamaican and Caribbean people not checking for you because the podcast now blow up." And I asked myself a question: if I never make a dollar, would I still want to do it? And the answer was unequivocally yes. And so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just continue. And so a lot of times you just have to just lock your eye to whatever they go on the internet and just kind of do what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you focus on the algorithm, the algorithm is like a carrot that dangle and then move further and further away. And me can't
You
work on
become
that.
slaves to it. And that's
Exactly.
exactly what it is. Yo, listen, and that's the problem with people, like some, not some, everybody, but that's the problem with a lot of influencers nowadays on social media and entertainers, creators, is that they're fixated on all these little things. Like even though you can go buy the blue check,
Yeah, me
the
know.
like, yo,
Yeah.
if you want to buy it, buy it. That's up to
Yeah.
you. You have to pay a monthly fee. It's cool, but it's what, who are you buying it for?
For
Like
yeah.
realistically, are you buying it for sure? It's not, you know what I mean? It's not earned. It's not like you earned it and say, yo, me know some me do well in a life, and look there, I became somebody that even social media um companies are now verifying me. That's cool, but to go off and buy it because you feel like, no, I should have it. Why should you have it? Why? You're not entitled to it. Like, you know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
to earn stuff. So, but yeah, man, it's crazy. It's a crazy world, and it just I get more mad.
It's I get mother. But
Mm.
what I love about this entire conversation is whatever you do, you have to do it because you love it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see, in days when it's hard, and I know you know this, sometimes the creativity now run like you want it for
Yep.
run. And maybe one opportunity come on, boy, the funds lock up over here, so you can't do something, you still do it even
Mm-hmm.
despite all of that. And I think that's what's lost on people, that
Yeah, man.
what, even if you love it, it's going to be hard, but it's because you love it, you're going to push through.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Enough time I want to give up. Enough time I say, yo, I'm done with this, like, yo, mentally me can't do it no more. Me suffer from depression. Me no want to go through this no more. Sometimes me I go through some hard time, and then me have to go up on stage, go perform the same night. And me I say, yo, all right, so get through it. But you in the audience a laugh, and you don't know me there on stage miserable. Right now me in a good mood, and you know, I mean, something happened to me in Canada. Which really touched me, like this woman, like I was going through a lot, like mentally at the time, and me I deal with it. Me not really show it. Me I carry on as normal, and yeah, man, do show and perform and everything good, and yeah, pretend, put on this facade for people, and when everything done, and I gone back at the hotel or the Airbnb, and I'm there by myself with my thoughts, it kind of start bother me. But I do a show, and this lady come up to me, and she tell me say, yo, like, because during my set me I talk about like lockdown and being people who are essential workers and stuff like this, and she came up to me and tell me say, yo, like, you are an essential worker.
Mm.
Believe me, you are. Like through lockdown, she tell me about some things when me get her through. And me I say, yo, me they are depressed about things, and this woman got through a loss in her life where, and it's so crazy, because you see me, that's why I'm saying me do things just genuinely from my heart. Some people where, like, if them I'll give somebody $100 or something, them have to film it to show the world. Say, yo, me just give that poor person a 100. Like, if me give somebody something, me give them a gum. They even really focus to take out a phone. When people have to take out their phone to film every little thing them do because they want praise by it, me not do it. But funny enough, the cameraman catched that moment right there and heard everything. It was you could hear it.
Yeah.
And my guy link message the lady and say, yo, we showed her the clip and say, yo, we caught this. Do you mind Yardie posting that? Me I say, yo, me not post it, man. You mad that somebody want? And the woman said, no, she wants me to share it because she wants the world to know that, yo, you are helping people around the world in ways you don't even know. I'm gonna post it because she said, yeah, do it. So
Hmm.
normal me not do them something there. You know what I mean? No much time people come to me after show, and yo, me there at the airport, I go through airport, and a woman stop me in a line, and she woman work for the airline stop me. I say, no, you, and start tell me about her husband in a hospital, and every day I just want to watch a video. When you don't post him, say, yo, where I not post to them, man, show man, and him vex. And that them thing they motivate me to keep going. So when I want to give up, it's people like those that keep me going because me realize say, yo, all right, may I do it, may I earn a living from it. That's great. But there's bigger joy to this because you are helping other people's lives without even knowing by just posting a video, by just doing something online. So yeah, man, and yeah, we inspire people, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. One day your blessing will come. You just have to keep doing what you do.
Yeah. And I want to say that I'm inspired by this conversation, and it's a little top up on the energy bar to keep going because content creation isn't easy. And so just you being here having this conversation, it's fuel for me
Thank you, man.
to just go on. So thank you so much. Tell the people them which part them can find up on the internet, although me know they know, but just in case somebody say me never hear. You said it.
Everywhere on social media is White Yardie. The Instagram, just look for the White Yardie with the blue check. You know what I mean? Not the subscription one. A long time I have the blue check. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, yeah, man, just White Yardie everywhere, man. Yeah, I mean that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. And as I love to say at the end of every show, walk good.